I'm honored to invite the Special Envoy to the Middle East and former Prime Minister of Great Britain, Mr. Tony Blair.
Omri Gilad, the Sharon family, Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Vice President, Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, Excellencies and delegations. My official meetings with Ariel Sharon were difficult. He was not comfortable in formal meetings surrounded by protocol. He would read at length from notes, repeating and repeating Israel's position. Really, Eric, I would say, I understand what you're saying. Okay, he would reply, and then pause. But just in case, I will say it again. And then one time I invited him to my home for dinner. No protocol. I wanted to know the man. And now I saw a completely different Eric. Warm-hearted, humorous, charming, and passionate. About his country, of course, but also about his wonderful family and his farming. And over the years, we worked together as prime ministers. He took actions no one ever thought he would take. Agreeing the roadmap, withdrawal from Gaza, forming Kadima. But the idea that he changed from the man of war to the man of peace misses that which defined him. Actually, he never changed. His strategic objective never wavered. The state which from the age of 14 he fought to bring into being had to be protected for future generations. When that meant fighting, he fought. When that meant making peace, he sought peace. And the same iron determination he took to the field of war, he took to the chamber of diplomacy. Bold, unorthodox, unyielding. We should never think, however, that he didn't reflect deeply. As I got to know him better, I realized this man was a student of history as well as a maker of it. He bore the anguish of the true decision maker. He had the quality of leadership in abundance, but he also had the intelligence to be conscious of its perils and the uncertain swings of fate. Once decided, he was unflinching. He carried all before him. And in this mode, he didn't move, he charged. Positions, parties, policies. He could leave considerable debris in his wake. But always his destination was clear, as was his motivation. And in this, he is a standard bearer, not only for Israel, but for its leadership. He had the toughness of mind to despise all illusions about the threats facing Israel. But he had the imagination to know that genuine peace, if attainable with honor and dignity, both for Arabs and Israelis, is the anchor, ultimately, for Israel's security. He did not pursue peace as a dreamer, but he did dream of peace and an end to war. In this, he represented something that I've noticed in all the Israeli leaders that I've encountered. Those who've been prime minister, those aspiring to be prime minister. Beneath that which is common to all politics, the maneuvers and the machinations and the tricks and the trappings of power, is found in Israel something unusual and precious in politics. A true love of country. A supreme love for the state of Israel and the land of Israel. For what it is, for what it took to build it, and what it will take to sustain it. There was no higher calling than this for Ariel Sharon, and no other calling. And by Israel, he meant not only a country and a people, but an idea. That the Jewish people, so often victims of injustice and persecution, should have a state where they could be independent and free. Afraid of no one, equal to everyone. Judged not on prejudice, but on merit. On what they achieve and what they give of their own free will. So, think good or ill of Ariel Sharon, agree or disagree with him. But that calling, a noble one, was plain and unalloyed. That, from my experience, was Ariel Sharon. Tough, but shy. Indomitable, yet a servant to his people. A warrior to create his country, yet wise enough to know that war alone could not secure its future. He was a giant of this land, born of the union of a great spirit and a big heart. Let him take his place in the history of Israel with pride. Yehi Zichro Baruch.